Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 11, text 35 and 36. Sanjaya Uvacha Etat Shrutva Vachanam Keshavasya Kritanjalir Vepamana Kiriti Namaskritva Bhuya Evaha Krishnam Sagadgadam Bhita Bhita Pranamya. Now, after Sanjaya is saying, Arjuna, having heard from Krishna, Keshavasya Vachanam Shrutva Kiriti, Arjuna, what he did? Kritanjalihi, he folded his hands, he offered his respects, while Vepamanaha, he was trembling, and Namaskritva, he offered his obeisances. Again, Bhuya, he asked Krishna, Eva aha, Bhuya eva aha Krishnam. He said unto Krishna like this, Sa gadgadam bhita bhita pranamya, with a faltering voice, and again offering obeisances. He started to speak to Krishna. So Arjuna became bewildered in wonder, and he began to offer his respectful obeisances to Krishna again and again. And now, with a faltering voice, he began to pray, not as a friend, but as a devotee in wonder. And now, what is he saying in the next verse? Arjuna uvacha sthane hrishikesh tava prakirtya jagat prahrishyati anurajyate cha rakshamsi bhitani disho dravanti sarve namasyanti cha siddha sangha. So Arjuna is saying, O Hrishikesha, O Krishna, tava prakirtya jagat prahrishyati anurajyate cha. Your glories, prakirtya, jagat prahrishyati. By hearing your glories, the whole universe becomes prahrishyati, rejoices, and anurajyate, they become attached. And these rakshamsi, these demons, evil elements, what happens to them? Bhitani dishahadravanti. Out of fear, they flee in all directions. And all these demigods and perfected human beings in higher planets, they're all offering you respects. Namaskyanti cha siddha sanghaha. So you see here, Krishna showed the universal form, and Arjuna has seen the form. Arjuna asked the question, I'm not able to understand what is your purpose with this fierce form of yours. And Krishna said, I am Kalaha. I came to annihilate the worlds. And everything is shown to Arjuna what is going to happen in the future, who are all going to be annihilated. And then Arjuna is now coming to coming back to talking to Krishna, but in this time, not as an inquiry and curiosity, but as a prayer. He's understood the Lord's purpose, and now he is offering his prayers. And he says that by these prayers, by this glorification of yours, the entire world becomes prahrishyati, becomes gladdened, including not just the devotees, including the siddhas, the demigods, everybody who was observing the fight, they were taking pleasure. But Rakshamsi Bhitani Dishodravanti, the demons and atheists could not stand it when the Lord was praised. They fled because of the devastating form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, where there is God's praise, where there is Kirtan, Krishna Kirtana, Sankirtana happening, there cannot be presence of evil element. Any kinds of inauspiciousness is driven away. So this is a wonderful effect of having Krishna Katha, hearing about Krishna, chanting about Krishna. And so the different treatments meted out to different people are mentioned here. And it's very appropriate and is praised by Krishna, by Arjuna. So the devotees and the sadhus, they were all praising this form and taking pleasure, whereas the demons and the atheists are running away out of fear. And Arjuna says, all this is rightly done. Sthane means rightly done. Because Arjuna and a devotee knows whatever Krishna does is good for all. Whether it is a devotee or a demon or an atheist or a immovable living entity, wherever there is touch of Krishna, it is all good for them. I used to remember in my college, not college, in my 10 plus 2, before college, we were in a hostel. It's a residential hostel. So, but it was a very strict school. And there used to be a warden. He's also the chief of that school. And he used to be very strict. He would hardly sleep. He would be up till late night until all the students finish their studies and go to bed. And he will come to the hostel, make sure everybody is asleep. Suddenly, makes a surprise visit. And they were all scared of him. The tiger is coming. They would nickname him as a tiger. Tiger is here, tiger is here. And they would act as if they're asleep. And if by chance, if somebody is not alert, he would grab them and punish them like anything. And in the morning, everybody has to come up early in the morning. And if he sees they were chit chatting or doing some mischief, he will become very severe on them. And so they were very, very fearful of this person. And for people who are studying nicely, he was very good. He would give them all goodies and he will encourage them. He'll take extra care of them. But these others were very, very fearful. And they were hating his presence. But then after the school ended, the terms ended, they were all, after a few years, they were all settled very nicely. And they were glad that they joined that school and they underwent that discipline. They subjected themselves to that chastisement and punishment. And they came out better. Everybody acknowledged. So whatever he did was for the good of everyone, not for his own benefit. So similarly, whatever Krishna does, whether it is punishment, it's punishing the atheists or punishing the miscreants, or rewarding the devotees, encouraging the devotees, giving pleasure to the devotees. Krishna is absolute. If anybody comes in touch with Krishna, they become purified. Just like the fire, whether you touch it knowingly or unknowingly, you will feel the warmth. It'll burn. It'll cause its effect. So Krishna purifies when he even chastises, when he punishes. Similarly, the holy name is non different from Krishna. Prakirtya, Arjuna is saying, the glorification of Krishna is non different from Krishna himself. And by that, one who is devotionally minded, he will become anurajyate, become more attached to chanting. Prahrishyati becomes more engladdened. But the evil elements, they run away. That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said, Kirtaniya Sadaharihi. Kirtaniya Sadahari means always chant the holy name of Krishna. Kulashekar Acharya, he composed a beautiful prayer about the glorification of this Krishna mantra. Shatruchedaikamantram mantram sakalam upanishad vakya sampujya mantram samsarocheda mantram samuchita tamasa sangha niryana mantram sarvas sarvaishwaryaika mantram vyasana bhujaga sandashta santrana mantram जिह्वे श्री कृष्ण मंत्रम जप जप सततम जन्म साफल्य मंत्रम. जिह्वे, ओ tongue, please chant Sri Krishna mantram japa japa satatam. Always chant the holy name of Krishna. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Janma safalya mantram, this is the mantra that makes your life successful. Shatruchhedaika mantram, this mantra that drives away all, kills all the enemies. Sakalam Upanishad Vakya Sampujya Mantram. This is the mantra that is being puja, means worshipped by all these Upanishads. People study Upanishads, the Vedas. They want to derive the knowledge from the Vedas. What is the Vedic knowledge? I want to assimilate. And what is that Upanishads are doing? They are praising, worshipping this holy name. And Vyasana Bhujaga Sandashta Santrana Mantram. This material world, everybody is in distress. Everybody, just like person who gets a snake bite, person who is bitten by a snake, he's poisoned, isn't it? He's going to die. He's in very distress. So in this world, everybody is bitten by this snake bite, which is like the objects of the senses. And they are attracting, and the moment we try to enjoy the senses, it's like a snake bite. We are poisoned. So this is called Vyasana Bhujaga. Bhujaga means snake. Bhujaga Sandashta means snake bite of this material world. Santrana Mantram, that which delivers us from this snake bite of this worldly distress. Just like, in villages, even now, there are mantra chanters who can heal the snake bite by mantra. That is called Sandashta Santrana Mantram. But this mantra, the holy name of Krishna, cures us from this material distress. So who will not take this? Please take this, Kulashekar Acharya is saying. And you see, from the pastime of Haridas Thakura, who was a great devotee during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time, he was just chanting the holy name throughout day and night. His vow was to chant 192 rounds or 300,000 holy names of Krishna. He would hardly sleep. And he used to stay in one cave, and people, they wanted to visit and take darshan, get association of Haridas Thakur. But suddenly one day they recognized there was a black snake, deadly snake in that cave. But Haridas Thakur was unperturbed, and the snake was not doing anything to him. And these people were very afraid to go there, and they were concerned for Haridas Thakur also. And so one day, while they were watching, in front of them, the snake exited that cave and went away, not to come back again ever. So Prabhupada explains that Krishna as a super soul is there in the heart of the snake also. And Krishna dictates For you, it is not good for you here. You just go away. He drives them away. And that is good for the snake as well as for Haridas Thakur, as well as devotees who wanted to take darshan. Similarly, another time, Haridas Thakur was chanting, and an evil scheme was done because of enviousness. This Zamindar, he was envious of Haridas Thakur because he was getting popular in that town. He wanted to allure him with a prostitute and get them caught and then make him infamous. But when the prostitute went, so he hired this prostitute and the prostitute went, but Haridas Thakur was chanting and she tried to attract him with her poses. But Haridas Thakur said, I'll satisfy you, but on the condition that you have to sit and you have to wait until I finish my vow of chanting. He wanted her to hear the name. He said, I have taken this vow, I cannot give it up. After finishing, I will take care of you. So he kept on chanting throughout the night, and she was hearing. And finally, the morning came, and she had to leave. And again, she came the next day. Again, he gave the same reason. Again, she kept on hearing. And then the third day, again he came. Again, she came. Again, he was giving the same reason. And finally, by the time the morning came, she became completely purified and she broke down and revealed the whole plan. And he said, yes, I knew. The moment I saw you, I knew that this is the plan of this foolish person. But I could have gone away immediately. I didn't want to disturb anybody in this place. But I wanted to give you that benefit of the holy name. So I stayed. And she became a pure devotee. And she became a disciple of Haridas Thakur. And he instructed her, you go and give up your profession and 1 second. You give up your profession and you give the charity of all your accumulation to all the brahmanas, and then you come back, you stay in this place, I am leaving, and you just have a tulsi plant and chant the holy name. And then she did the same. And you see how everybody, even with a bad intent, they get purified when they come in touch with Krishna. Even in our heart, the anarthas, they run away. It's like they say that there are two fierce animals. They're fighting with each other in our heart. The good animal and the bad animal. They're always fighting. Our our existence, especially in Kali Yuga, internally we have so much of bad thoughts, inclination to sinful habits, sinful things. We are attracted to all of that because of the contamination of Kali Yuga. But there is also a good side of us who want to become good, who want to become pious, who want to become devotee, who want to always be in Sattva Guna. But these opposing forces are always acting. So, who will win? The more you feed, whatever you feed, the animal that you feed more, that animal naturally wins. If you feed the good animal by supplying Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, the more you feed the good animal, good side, it will overcome the bad animal. But if you feed more the bad animal, it will overcome the good animal. So the choice is ours. So there was once a family, the father and child. The child had to study well for the exam, and the father was trying his best to earn and provide for the family and for the child's education. And one time, out of his profession, he had to leave the town for an urgent work. And the exams were nearing by, and he arranged a math tutor for the child. The math exam was coming. And he out of great endeavor, he asked the math tutor to come every day to teach the child. And he told the neighbors to take care of the child. He was a single parent. And the math tutor agreed. And so the man went away. The parent went away to the another place. So the child wrote the exam after a few days, and the father came back and asked what happened. And the child said he failed the exam. After so much of effort put in by the father for all the arrangements, and we became very mad. Why? What happened? Did you not learn from the math tutor? The child said he never came. All these 7 days, he never came. And then he became mad after the tutor. He went to the tutor and he asked, why did you not come? And he said, no, every day I went. Every day I went and I was knocking the door, but nobody was opening. And then I would knock the door and I go back. Every day I did that. And then the father figured out from the neighbors that this child, he was gathering all his friends and he was just enjoying, partying, and that noise, he did not even hear that knock of the tutor who came. And as a result, he did not study, he did not get tutored, and he failed. So, in this story, what I wanted to convey is that by the order of the Father, who is like the spiritual master, not order, by the mercy of the Father, by the mercy of the spiritual master, we can call upon Krishna. The math tutor is like Krishna who is delivering us knowledge or who is making us fortunate. So the spiritual master has given that holy name by which Krishna can come directly, descend on our tongue. But instead of opening the door of our heart, we are busy inside, not attending to Krishna and thinking something else, planning something else. So, how can we access that benefit that Krishna comes, Krishna brings? Krishna will stay at the doorstep only. Once you open the heart, once you become attentive to chanting, once you become eager to accept Krishna, that's when the whole benefit comes. One second, hold on. Something is. All right, sorry. I got a phone call in between and I muted it and then it became blurred, I think. Sorry about that. Yeah, the holy name. Uh, yeah, we have to accept the holy name. We have to be eager to hear what we chant. Then Krishna will do the magic. And here, the meaning of, as we discussed, whatever Krishna does, even if it is apparently bad, of course, for devotees, it is always good. They always rejoice and they always take the pleasure from Krishna, associating with Krishna, chanting Krishna's names. But even sometimes, apparently, something bad happens. That is also good for the devotee. It must be for something higher. Like one time, this great Acharya, Srinivas Acharya, Shyamananda Pandit, Narottam Das Thakur. These were stalwart acharyas who were studying under Jiva Goswami in Vrindavan. And the Jiva Goswami had a lot of manuscripts, copies of the books written by the acharyas, by Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami. So he had them write these manuscripts. And then they put all this, they wanted to distribute this knowledge far and wide. They loaded all of these books into these bullock carts, this bullock cart, big bullock cart. And they started to travel on the way preaching everyone. They wanted to go to Orissa and Bengal to distribute this knowledge. But in one town, uh, Birbhum village, they were taking rest in the night, and this king of that village, Birbhum, Veer Hamveer, his name, he's actually a very a bad king, a rogue. He basically loots all the property of people going by. And he thought his spies, they informed him, oh, these people are carrying some treasure. And then he had these spies, his goons, steal this property. And by the time they woke up, Srinivas Acharya, Narottam Das Thakur, and Shamananda Pandit, they were devastated that this treasure got really a treasure. After a lot of hard work, they brought all these things, and now it is gone. And they just became devastated. So, what to do now? And Srinivas Acharya told them not to worry. They should continue their travel and trying to preach, and he will try to figure out something meanwhile. And so he goes around the town, and then he was chanting and he was preaching about Krishna, and everybody becomes so positively influenced by him. And the king himself understands that he's a great personality. He calls, and the king's wife also becomes very, very eager. And they both become transformed by hearing from him about Krishna. And then his heart changes. And then he admits that he is the one who had actually had it stolen. And he repents sincerely for it, and he becomes a great devotee. And he also takes the center stage in supplying money for, you know, printing more books and distributing. That would have been a difficult task for a ordinary person. Now, if it is taken by the king, you see how much support it gets. So you see how, even though apparently something bad happened, but Krishna had a higher purpose. And eventually it turned out to be good. So whatever Krishna does is absolutely good for the devotee and for everyone. So with that conviction, we should live our lives and go on engaging in our devotional service. Let's stop here. Anyone has any questions or comments? Bhagavad Gita as it is ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.